ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तावत्र विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। धर्मप्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा वरैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते यत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो शास्त्रेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओं श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपम् स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। ओम अत श्रीकृष्णानुग्रहद्वारेण श्रुतिमातुः समस्तगुरुणानुग्रहद्वारेण भागवतादिशास्त्रोक्त परब्रह्मानुभवप्राप्त्यर्थं श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं च वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम् अथ त्रिंशोऽध्यायः। In the chanting we do the 30th chapter. In this we see all the Yadavas fighting with each other and that story. Anyway, we are going to study in the sequence. अथ त्रिंशोऽध्यायः। ॐ राजोवाच ततो महाभागवत उद्धवे निर्गते वनं द्वारवत्यां किमकरोत् भगवान् भूतभावनः ब्रह्मशापोपसंसृष्टे स्वकुले यादवर्षभः प्रेयसीं सर्वनेत्राणां तनुं स कथमत्यजतो प्रत्याकृष्टुं नयनमबला यत्र लग्नं न शेकुः कर्णाविष्टं न सरति ततो यत् सतामात्मलग्नं यत् श्रीर्वाचां जनयति रतिं किं नु मानं कवीनां दृष्ट्वा जिष्णोर्युधिरथ कथं यच्च तत्साम्यमीयुः। ऋषिर्वाच दिवि भुव्यन्तरिक्षे च महोत्पातान् समुत्थितान् दृष्ट्वा सीनान् सुधर्मायां कृष्णः प्राह यदूनिदम् एते घोरा महोत्पाता द्वारवत्यां यमकेतवः मुहूर्तमपि न स्थेयम् अत्र नो यदुपुङ्गवाः स्त्रियो बालाश्च वृद्धाश्च शङ्कोद्धारं व्रजन्तितः वयं प्रवासं यास्यामः यत्र प्रत्यक्सरस्वती तत्राभिषिच्य शुचयः उपोष्य सुसमाहिताः देवताः पूजयिष्यामः स्वपनालेपनार्हणैः ब्राह्मणांस्तु महाभागान् कृतस्त्वस्तेनान्वयं गोभूहिरण्यवासोभिः गजाश्वरथवेश्मभिः विधिरेष ह्यरिष्टघ्नः मङ्गलाय नमोत्तमं देवद्विजगवां पूजा भूतेषु परमो भवः इति सर्वे समाकर्ण्य यदुवृद्धा मधुद्विषः तथेति नौभिरुत्तीर्य प्रभासं प्रययुरथैः तस्मिन् भगवतादिष्टं यदुदेवेन यादवाः चक्रुः परमया भक्त्या सर्वश्रेयोपबृंहितम्। ततस्तस्मिन् महापानं पपुर्मैरेयकं मधु दिष्टविभ्रंशितधियः यद्द्रव्यैर्भ्रश्यते मतिः महापानाभिमत्तानां वीराणां दृप्तचेतसां कृष्णमाया विमूढानां संघर्षः सुमहानभूत युयुधुः क्रोधसंरब्धाः वेलायाम् आततायिनः धनुर्भिरसिभिर्बल्लैः गदाभिस्तोमरर्षिभिः पतत्पताकैरथकुञ्जराधिभिः खरोष्टगोभिर्महिषैर्नरैरपि मिथः समेत्याश्वतरैश्च दुर्मदाः न्यहंशरैर्दद्भिरिवद्विपावने प्रद्युम्न साम्बौ युधिरूढमत्सरौ अक्रूरभोजावनिरुद्धसात्यकी सुभद्रसङ्ग्रामजितौ सुदारुणौ गदौ सुमित्रासुरथौ समेयतुः अन्ये च ये वै निषठोन्मुखादयः सहस्रजित् शतजित् भानुमुख्याः अन्योन्यमासाद्य मदान्धकारिताः जघ्नुर्मुकुन्देन विमोहिता भृशं दाशार्हवृष्ण्यन्धकभोजसात्वताः मध्वर्बुधा माधुरशूरसेनाः विसर्जना कुकुराः कुन्तयश्च मिथस्ततस्तेत विसृज्य सौहृदं पुत्रास्त्वयुध्यन् पितृभिर्भ्रातृभिश्च स्वश्रीयदौहित्रपितृव्यमातुलैः मित्राणि मित्रैः सुहृदः सुहृद्भिः ज्ञातीन् स्वहन् ज्ञातय एव मूढाः शरेषु क्षीयमाणेषु भज्यमानेषु धन्वसु शस्त्रेषु क्षीयमाणेषु मुष्टिभिर्जहृरेरकाः तावज्रकल्पा ह्यभवन परिघा मुष्टिना भृताः जघ्नुर्विशस्तैः कृष्णेन वार्यमाणास्तु तं च ते प्रत्यनीकं मन्यमाना बलभद्रं च मोहिताः हन्तुं कृतधियो राजन् आपन्ना आततायिनः अत तावपि संक्रुद्धौ उद्यम्य कुरुनन्दन हिरकामुष्टिपरिघौ चरन्तौ जघ्नतुर्युधि ब्रह्मशापोपसृष्टानां कृष्णमायावृतात्मनां स्पर्धा क्रोधः क्षयं निन्ये वैणवोऽग्निर्यथावनम् एवं नष्टेषु सर्वेषु कुलेषु स्वेषु केशवः अवतारितो भुवो भारः इति मेनेव शेषितः रामः समुद्रवेलायां योगमास्थाय पौरुषं तत्याज लोकं मानुष्यं संयोज्यात्मानमात्मनि रामनिर्याणमालोक्य भगवान् देवकीसुतः निशसादधरोपस्थे तूष्णीम् आसाद्य पिप्पलं बिभ्रच्चतुर्भुजं रूपं भ्राजिष्णुप्रभया स्वया दिशो विधिमिराः कुर्वन् विधूम इव पावकः श्रीवत्साङ्कं घनश्यामं तप्तहाटकवर्चसं कौशेयाम्बरयुग्मेन परिवीतं सुमङ्गलं सुन्दरस्मितवक्त्राब्जं नीलकुन्तलमण्डितं पुण्डरीकाभिरामाक्षं स्फुरन्मकरकुण्डलं कटिसूत्रब्रह्मसूत्र किरीटकटकाङ्गदैः हारनूपुरमुद्राभिः कौस्तुभेन विराजितं वनमालापनीताङ्गं मूर्तिमद्भिर्निजायुधैः कृत्वोरौ दक्षिणे पादम् आसीनं पङ्कजारुणं मुसलावशेषाय खण्ड कृतेषुर्लुब्धकोजरा मृगस्याकारं तत्शरणं विव्याधं मृगशङ्खया चतुर्भुजं तं पुरुषं दृष्ट्वा सकृतकिल्बिषः भीतः पपात शिरसा पादयोरसुरद्विषः अजानता कृतमिदं पापेन मधुसूदन क्षन्तुमर्हसि पापस्य उत्तमश्लोकमे प्रभो यस्यानुस्मरणं नॄणाम् अज्ञानध्वान्तनाशनं वदन्ति तस्य ते विष्णो मया साधु कृतं प्रभो तन्माशु जहि वैकुण्ठ पाप्मानं मृगलुब्धकं यथा पुनरहन्त्वेवं न कुर्यां सदतिक्रमं यस्यात्मयोगरचितं न विदुर्विरिञ्चः रुद्रादयोऽस्य तनयाः पतयो गिराम्ये यन्माययापि हि तदृष्टय एतदञ्जः किं तस्य ते वयमसद्गतयो गृणीमः श्रीभगवानुवाच मा भैर्जरे त्वमुत्तिष्ठ काम एष कृतो हि मे याहि त्वं मदनुज्ञातः स्वर्गं सुकृतिनां पदम् इत्यादिष्टो भगवता कृष्णेनेच्छाशरीरिणा त्रिः परिक्रम्य तन्नत्वा विमानेन दिवं ययौ दारुकः कृष्णपदवीम् अन्विच्छन्नधिगम्यताम् वायुं तुलसिकामोदम् आघ्रायाभिमुखं ययौ तं तत्र तिग्मद्युभिरायुधैर्वृतं यश्वत्थमूले कृतकेतनं पतिं स्नेहप्लुतात्मा निपपातपादयोः रथादव नृत्यसबाष्पलोचनः अपश्यतस्त्वच्चरणाम्बुजं प्रभो दृष्टिप्रणष्टा तमसि प्रविष्टा दिशो न जाने न लभे च शान्तिं यथा निशायाम् उडुपे प्रणष्टे इति ब्रुवति सूते वै रथो गरुडलाञ्छनः कमुत्पपात राजेन्द्र साश्वध्वज उदीक्षतः तमन्वगच्छन् दिव्यानि विष्णुप्रहरणानि च तेनास्ति विस्मितात्मानं सूतमाह जनार्दनः गच्छद्वारवतीं सूत ज्ञातीनां निधनं मितः सङ्कर्षणस्य निर्याणं बन्धुभ्यो ब्रूहि मद्दशां द्वारकायां च न स्थेयं भवद्भिश्च स्वबन्धुभिः मया त्यक्तां यद्पुरीम समुद्रः प्लावयिष्यति स्वं स्वं परिग्रहं सर्वे आदाय पितरौ च नः अर्जुनेनाविताः सर्वे इन्द्रप्रस्थं गमिष्यथ त्वं तु मद्धर्ममास्थाय ज्ञाननिष्ठ उपेक्षकः मन्माया रचिताम् एतां विज्ञायोपशमं व्रज इत्युक्तस्तं परिक्रम्य नमस्कृत्य पुनः पुनः तत्पादौ शीर्ष्ण्युपाधाय दुर्मनाः प्रययौ पुरीम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे 30ोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, श्रीभागवत शरणं मम, श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्रीसूता शरणं मम, श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम, श्रीव्यास शरणं मम, श्रीनारद शरणं मम, श्रीकुमार शरणं मम, श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम, श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम, श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम, श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधव। स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अदपिबन्धु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चद गर्हिजद। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वा अन्यतारूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ अष्टाविंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच। Salutations to the Lord Bhagavan Krishna and Narayana and Parabrahma and all avatars. Salutations to the Bhagavan's Jnanam in the form of all the Shastras. Salutations to those who through this Jnanam guide us to Bhagavan, all the Guru, Rishi, Muni, Parampara. Salutations to all those who became means for Bhagavan and his knowledge to come onto the earth, called as all the bhaktas, the sadhakas, the jignasus. Our own Guru Parampara, salutations. Our own Swa Guru, let us do our wholehearted prostrations. From all of them, seeking only one thing. As early as possible, let the eye of wisdom of ours is opened. What in fact we have to seek or try in our life is these 4, 5, 6 things. One, dukkha karanam is our ragadvesha to the jagat. As early as possible, understanding this, come out of the ragadvesha and free yourself, ourselves from the unnecessary dukkha. Sukha karanam is punyam and dharmam. Therefore, as soon as possible, as much punyam as possible, let us do for some time and live sukha jivanam even at the vyavahara level. Then in the third case, even though it is a sukha, but kshine punyam arthelokam vishanti, because it is the karya sukha, the effect of some karana, the punya karma, which is not infinite. Therefore, the karya rupa sukha also is not infinite. Therefore, rise from that as early as possible. Then come to the actual knowledge as given in the Upanishad and Shastra. In that, as early as possible, hmm, understand that what is happening in front of eyes in the form of the Desha Kala Vastu and the modification of the Vastus and Desha because of the change in Kala. All of that be attentive. See it is happening and accept that it is like that only. Stop commenting or reacting on that. In that, every happening in the world should be accepted that it is like that only, it cannot be, need not be changed. Then only comes the ability to withdraw from them and focus on what is that behind all this, in whose presence, even though without happening, all this is appearing to happen. In the discovery of that eternal, immutable, birthless, modificationless, changeless, deathless self, when that is discovered, then the curtain of Maya goes away. What do we see is only two things, him or his Leela. There is no other thing in this world because of which that we have to run to embrace any of them or run away to protect from. In between are all these upadhis, dehadi, and how they, effect of Maya, all of them, play havoc when we give them lenience. Lenience given to upadhis only is by ajnanam and avivekam. When we get the jnanam from the Guru Shastra, using that jnanam when we are always alert at the viveka level of our buddhi, then the upadhis will not create havoc in our life to enslave us or bind us. All this put together is called as the Adhyatmika Jivana. Other than this is Kevala Samsarika Jivanam, where I take myself as Jiva, as this Deha, and all these Upadhis, and the world is real to me. Then I am wanting this or that, I go for it, it goes on endlessly. And in that Janma is there, Marana is there. In between, all the Ashas are there, Nirashas are there. Then some goals, aims are there. We work for it, there is competition. Sometimes we achieve, we don't achieve. Anything achieved again taken away from us. बाबा 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 इसका कोई अंत नहीं. Like the waves on the surface of the ocean. So too, there is no end to the karma phala of us. When we are at the surface level of Upadhitadatmya and Jagat Satyatva. When you go inside through the knowledge, through the deep contemplation meditation, like inside the ocean, there are no waves, small or bigger one. So too in the self, all these are transcended. When we go deep in our contemplation and understanding. And all these waves on the ocean also. क्या मजेदार बात है देखो. Small wave comes, then slowly it starts growing. Then it eats away the next wave and it becomes bigger. By the time it boasts that it is bigger, then it reaches the shore. Then at the shore, it hits itself and disappears only. And to you and I, see that leela of the waves and think something is really all the time happening. But to happen something, there must be wave first of all. Where is wave there? What is there is only water. Is it not? What is there is only water. Where is wave? Wave is not in the water. Wave is superimposed on the water. For the outer reason of the winds, for the inner reasons of non thinking or non understanding. So, one who says water alone, no meaning to the waves, their birth or death. Water is always there. Wave born or dying. What's happening to water? Nothing. And waves are born only to die. If there is no death of waves, the meaning to the birth of waves. Is it not? If the waves which are born right from the beginning of manifestation of ocean, if they have not died, then the joy of seeing the waves in the ocean would have not been there. Even when I was chanting this portion, we were all chanting 30th one. Toward the end, when Krishna, with all his Abhushana, Avarana, Aidu, just goes into Divya Loka in that Ratha, I was just struck with wonderment. Such a beautiful divine avatar, Rama or Krishna. Krishna Rama avatar we saw a month back. They themselves are not there on this earth permanently. Is it not? Big, big rishis, munis have come, did their lot, but Bhautika Drishtya, they are not there in the Bhumi permanently. Then everything is going. So in that we are also one. Then the thought with the morning class. Yesterday we saw, I think, what leaves us, what goes with us, and what stays with us. Is it not? That's why the introduction. As early as possible. As early as possible. Understanding the samsara is caused by raga dvesha and leave them. Leave raga dvesha and get out of that struggle in the world. Then, as early as possible, knowing that Rupanama Jagat and these upadhis are mithya, start becoming unaffected by them through identification. No identification with them. How to do that? Just by becoming the Sakshi witness to them. And as early as possible, if we can discover ourselves to be that so Shuddha Sadgana Chidgana Anandagana Paramatma Atma Paramatma, then we are freed. काम अधूरा करके गए मानो तो फिर से आना पड़ता है करने को. और जब आएंगे कहाँ भेजे जाएंगे नहीं पता. As early as possible. So that is a tadap. Oh Lord, oh Guru Parampara, oh Ishvara. Suffering, struggling because of this avidya, maya, krita, entire bahya, abhyantara, samsara struggle. Avidya, kritam, all of that. Please give us the vidya. Atma vidya, Brahma vidya. That Paramatma Tattva alone is real. Everything else is avidya, krita, superimposed on that. This is what we are studying in Adhyatma Ramayanam also. And this is what we saw even in our Drugdrsha Vivekam also. And in our morning class also. Slowly the Taittiriya Upanishad is telling us Aham Vrukshasya Reriva Ityadeha. What is that? It is called as Mantramnayaha. Swadhyayartho Mantramnayaha. स्वाध्यायेन चित्तशुद्धि चित्तशुद्ध्या विद्या उत्पत्ति विद्या उत्पत्त्या अविद्यानाश अविद्यानाशेन संसार नाश. And only after hundreds of lives of upasana, guru seva, that we get a chance, that too in this Kali Yuga, when crores are getting flown in the floods of samsara of artha, kama, etc. How many lives we have to have gone through with whatever good heart and punya karma, guru upasana, Ishvara upasana and seva, that this liberating knowledge of the Vedanta Shastras we are able to listen. Then when we have come up to the listening level, definitely let us have faith and faith oriented efforts that not only we listen but we understand. We will understand. Sure, surely and so. Not only we understand it, but we understand it thoroughly beyond any questions, doubts, despairs, and any samshaya ityadi. Not only that, we get abided in this knowledge through meditation in the experience of it. Get abided in that experience of it through the dhyanam. We have come up to this. Definitely we'll go further also. With this faith, belief, when we truly, sincerely put effort for that, then that is the meaning of, see what a beautiful mantra in that Kena Upanishad. Do you remember? Iha cheda vedi tatha satyamasti na chediha vedin mahati vinashti bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraah pretyasmallokadamruta bhavanti. Yacheda Vedit, here while living only, if we discover the self in us, Ata Satyamast, then only there is fulfillment of life. Nachedi Vedit, if you have not tried to know the self and get liberated, Mahati Vinashti, the biggest of the loss we have incurred by our own every reason, self created only. Upanishad says. Iha, as a human being in India, born as Hindu, came under the feet of great gurus. यह चेत अवेदित, अगर यहाँ आकर जान लिया तो बच गए. नचे यदि अवेदित महति विनष्ट. सेम थिंग इन ईशावास्यम. एके च आत्महनो जनाः. असौर्या नामते लोकाः अन्धेन तमसावृताः तान् ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति एके च आत्महनो जनाः. May all these 6 classes of ours, if Lord wants, let us do 10 more classes per day. But as early as possible, let our nishtha in the prapti of Paramatma Anubhuti become so intense and deep. In next couple of years of our rigorous study, after which all this struggle of study, everything is no more required, because all of them have fulfilled in giving us the conviction that Paramatma alone is the goal, giving us the clarity of the means. Then just each of we the regular listeners, serious listeners, sincere listeners, within a couple of years, give up all these also, the external efforts which are fulfilled in getting the conviction of Paramatma, only in spending the time to deeply ponder, to deeply go beyond all that which is seen into the seer, who is neither the seer nor the seen, but the absolute illuminator or the witness, conscious self. May we transcend all the Veshti Samasti, Sula Sukshma Karana, Ubadhi, and come to know our essential self and revel in that. That Atma Rati, Atma Trupti, Atma Santushti be experienced by all of us very, very soon. So, with these prayers and what is required for this deep intense sadhana, what leads to this deep intense sadhana is knowing the Paramatma without a doubt and also knowing the glory of that Paramatma without doubt. And along with that, when we know the emptiness, non-existenceness, delusoriness, impermanency, cheatingness of this entire world in which we are now caught up, then when we know this world to be that way, we will be able to withdraw from it. Yeah, the two people in front. One is friend, another is enemy. The one whom we took as enemy is such a genuine, noble person. Heart is filled, his heart is what? Love for us. But that we don't know. Therefore, we just take him as enemy, keep away. The other fellow, we took him as a friend. But his fellow is पीछे से पूरा हमारा सब पैसे चुरा रहा है, धोखा कर रहा है. But because we took him as friend, we are not able to see. If really by some means we come to know who is friend and enemy, friend acting as enemy, enemy is actual friend. Discard this friend like enemy and take that enemy appearing friend into our life. How beautiful our life becomes. In the same way, the Paramatma is Suhrut and Mitra to us. Jagat is really Shatru. So we took the Jagat as Mitra, Paramatma is Shatru. Therefore, we are keeping Paramatma away. We are taking the world to be so clear. So clear. Change this and know the Paramatma is the Atyanta Sannihita Mitra. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. And with that Mitrata to Paramatma, let us discover our identity with Him. Once we discover identity with Him and look back, either there is no world or the world is again me only. Me and my Paramatma Tattva same. And these are what the words through experience all the Rishis Munis have proclaimed through all this literature, which is ancient eternal, called Upanishads and Purana Itihasa. Now, the sublime knowledge about the real and unreal, Satya and Asatya, and in between is Mithya, is given to us by Lord Krishna toward the end of his avatara through Sri Uddhavaji on his questioning. So yesterday we saw the first mantra, Bhagavan's answer. What is that? We'll just see it. कि यावद्देहेन्द्रियप्राणैः आत्मनः सन्निकर्षणं संसारः फलवान् तावत् अपार्थोऽप्यविवेकिनः. Every word we understood, explained, understood, total sentence also we tried to understand yesterday. So, I myself am the Atma, Mukta Atma, always. I myself right now is Baddha Jiva. I myself from my Baddhata have to enter into my Mukta Sthiti. Only one thing we have to do for that. What are those conditionings which are making me Baddha or the bound? From that conditionings, when I decondition myself, I am Mukta. Okay? So simple. And what are those things which are binding me to be a jiva? Dehendriya pranaihi atmanaha sannikarshanam. My proximity to them. Remember, the clarity of that is what? It's only proximity. Neither Atma became the Dehendriya Prana Adi. Atma is me. Nor I can ever come in contact with it. The only example is again the crystal and the red rose. Is it not? The crystal never became a red rose. Crystal never touched the rose. Touched means any relation happening between them. But the rose was near crystal. That was enough for the crystal to get the color of the rose, the redness in it. You know, the sun never became close. No. So the crystal never contacted the rose nor became one with the rose. But because proximity of the rose, it appeared. In the same way, it's only our sannikarshana with the upadhi, as if the jiva I am appearing. You know why? Because if I, the Atma, crystal, has become one with the rose, the upadhi, then there is no reversal. Therefore, there is no chance of liberation. क्योंकि हो गया अभी. So that is the most essential final knowledge. What is that? I am have become jiva to suffer is wrong. I am appearing as a jiva and the sufferings are real. Na? The rope never became snake, but rope appeared as snake, and that is enough for suffering of fears. Need not, rope need not become snake for giving dukkha, bhaya ityadi. Appears enough. Appears only. Never. What is the how can the rope can become snake? दोनों विपरीत गुण वाले हैं. So the Atma Tattva, Dehendra Prana are totally a Viparita Lakshana. Atma can never become the Upadis. Upadiyukta Jiva. Everywhere, the man can never become father or husband. Can never become. Appears through the conditioning. That is why when wife dies or divorced, there is no husband. Son dies in accident, there is no father. He was, but not now. But if he really became husband or father, he should have continued, no? When the upadhi is gone, he is gone. In that way. Now, this is understood. Sannikarsham, every word now I will not touch today. Now come to the next sloka. That also we have seen. So powerful discussion it is. So sublime. So important. What is that? Arte hyavidyamane me samsrutirna nivartate. Even though there is no snake, still the fear and dukkha never goes away. Even though the snake is not there. So to Arte avidyamane. Arte means upadis, their modification, because of their modification, some consequence. Though it is not there. Yet the samsara of dukkha not going away. Are? How it is happening? What is the cause? If we can know it and eliminate it there, this is where only by Guru Kripa, I believe strongly, Ishvara Kripa, that we will be catching the thought, understanding the thought, or understanding the knowledge, or gaining the knowledge. Only one thing. There are not two things in the sadhana to be known and done. What is that? Dhyayato Vishayan Asya. Yesterday we said, no, this is a topic we have to discuss more. Only the mana, when it allowed to do the Vishaya Dhyana, enough, the world appears so. That is enough to bind us. No, very sublime it is. Now, I can't take you to that level of deep contemplation while interacting. I can give you thought, you can enter into deep interaction, deep contemplation. Dhyayato Vishayan. What is the meaning of it? What is there is Atma only. Nothing other than that. Other than Atma, anything when we are seeing, it is only the dhyana of the mana. Here, dhyana is not meditation, dhyana is imagination, projection. See, this is a vyakti. In that vyakti, when there is scanning is done, there is no mitra or shatru. Is it not? It is in my mind because of the dhyanam as thinking, projection, conditioned by some benefit gained from him, he is mitra. Because of loss, he is a shatru. And those loss and gain were temporary only. But we kept the mitra bhava or shatru bhava continuously, permanently. Then we look at him as my friend, my enemy. Arteha vidyamanepi, then after once you decide that he is a friend or enemy, though the friend and enemy is not there in him, samsara continues as a friend interaction, as an enemy, whenever you look at him, you become angry or miserable. What happened? Dhyayatah vishaya. Clear? Now become deeper in this contemplation. Not only the friend in that person, enemy in that person is the projection of our mind at a higher level. Even the presence of that person also is a projection of mind. Clear? Now listen carefully. How do you project that person? Before that, another projection happens. That when I project myself to be this deha, then I project that deha, this deha, that deha, that deha also. I am deha is only concept, solidified concept. Like what is a building? A solidified concept. Isn't it? It is a concept. कि यहाँ एक building बनाएंगे. Then that concept was grossified using the material. At the highest, deepest level, the material also concept only. है ना? Then that also grossified and solidified. You can see how the bricks are made. You made a brick out of the mud. Paramatma made mud out of Maya. Is it not? You make the steel rods out of the iron. Paramatma made the iron out of the earth out of Maya. For a building construction, every material we make from already existing matter. All that matter in its root, where is it going into? The matter, Prakriti only, Maya only. Think about it. But this deep contemplation inquiry level, we don't go. Therefore, the deep understanding never appeals to us, never reveals to us. On the other hand, as a body living in this world with small little sukha dukkha, we got habituated to it. We are finding it comfortable. And we don't, nobody wants to leave their comfortable zone, how much ever it is useless and how much ever better zone than that is shown. And the comfort is the concept of the mind. If he changes his mind's concept, then इससे वो अच्छा है वहाँ जाएगा. Like a person, when is in the concept of comfort in his own town or village, even promotions are given, he will not go. Other fellow is always restless to go out of this place in the same company or any office or बैंक. अरे दोनों एक ही में है. एक को जितना भी प्रमोशन दो नहीं जा रहा है. अदर फेलो सेज मुझे डिमोशन दे दो लेकिन सेंड मी आउट ऑफ दिस प्लेस. Why is it so? For this fellow, this is comfort. For that's a concept. So we are in the comfort, we feel comfortable being the Deha Adi. Therefore, we feel it is not required for us to contemplate deeply. Therefore, we never do the deep inquiry or contemplation. Only in the deep contemplation inquiry, we come to know all that grass which is seen is subtle. All that subtle which we see is causal. All the cause is superimposed on the truth or reality. Reality only imagined as cause and effect in the form of gross and subtle. No, you have to go into such deepest contemplation level, like a scientist. He has broken that water and he found that it is made of hydrogen and oxygen. He went deep in his research, with whatever is chemical experimentation. He found his hydrogen and oxygen molecules coming together is water. Science में. In the same way, a spiritual scientist has become so deep in his contemplation, he has broken the gross, subtle, and causal, gone beyond to see the real, the truth. In the truth and real, no change, no modification. It is eternal, immutable liberation. That is me. When it is not known as it is, on them all these are projected. When they are projected, all wrong question, they have no answer. When did Ajnana start? Wrong question. It started sometime. It can end. It is beginningless, but it is not endless. When you get Jnanam, it goes away. From when I don't know the driving, eternally, I can't answer. But that ignorance of driving can be removed by gaining the knowledge of driving. By the way. So, what is a second shloka thought we have to carry today? Ki Vishayan Dhyayataha. That is what in all our texts, Vishayan Dhyayataha Chittam Vishayeshu Vishajjate. Bhagavata. In the 11th skandha only, or in Prahlada story, somewhere we studied. Vishayan Dhyayataha Chittam Vishayeshu Vishajjate Mam Anusmaratah Chittam Mayeva Praviliyate. When Chitta doing the Vishaya Dhyana, Vishaya appearance first, then gathering the status of reality, then the gathering status of importance, then binding us happens. Only in the Mana Chitta Dhyana. That is what is the Bhikshu Geetam entire. Mana Param Karana Mamananti. Is it not? That I thought of this person. Slowly the affinity grows, either as friend or enemy. It goes on till don't start thinking that why I am thinking unnecessarily about this person. Let me stop. And that way, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, when you stop thinking about that person by being away and all, you will know that all the earlier suffering was there, attachment was gone. So, ध्यान करने से संबंध था, छोड़ने से गया. How many thick friends we had when we were in school days, colleges days. यार हम जिंदगी भर कट्टे साथ में रहेंगे, क्या क्या बाधाएं नहीं की. अब वो बंदा जिंदा है कि नहीं भी नहीं पता, अब उसको भी नहीं पता हम जिंदा है. Why? Because there is no dhyanam. And now the people around us there, in our mind they are there because we are doing dhyana about them. Vishayan dhyayatah chittam vishayeshu vishajyate. When chitta goes on doing dhyana of the vishayas, it gets lost in the vishaya. Mam anusmaratah chittam. When the chittam thinks about the self-reality, maya praliyate, chitta dissolves and chitta reveals. The chitta is Atma, conscious self. Chitta, everywhere this is talk. Dhyayato vishyanas. Is it not? Swapne anartha agamaha is example. Like in the dream, all the anarthas are nothing but the imagination projection. This is what in our 7th shloka, Druptusha Viveka. 7th or 8th shloka. Chitichaya aikyam agata antah karana vruttihi vasanaha kalpaye swapne bodhe akshahi vishaya. Bahihi. Same thing we studied in the Alata Shanti or Mandukya. What it is? Ki the Ahamvrutti, like in the morning class also is illuminated or reflecting the consciousness in it, then becomes conscious Ahamvrutti. Listen carefully, next thought. From where and how we don't know, but it has got the vasanas. With that vasanas, that Ahamvrutti, in the Sapna, it projects the Sapna Jagat with the variety of relativity. In the Jagrata also, it projects the Jagrata Jagat with its relativity. In Nidra, that Ahamvrutti, illuminated by Chitta, is in Laya Avastha, Bija Avastha. Therefore, it is not instigating or activating the Vasanas. Therefore, no subtle world of dream, no gross world of Jagrata. What is happening early morning when we get up? First, I am waking up. In fact, I is waking up actually from self standpoint, but grammatically it is an error. I wake up. Who am I? I am a thought, conscious thought. Immediately, this I, when I wake up, don't stop like that. Immediately, all my vasanas gathered from millions of lives, including till yesterday night. On the basis of that, I project the outer world as if a routine. Then I involve in the world according to my own projections. Same in the dream. Bodhe akshaihi vishayan vahi kalpyate. Then in the swapna also kalpyate. चितिच्छाये किमागता अंतःकरणवृत्तिः स्वप्ने वासना कल्पयेत बोधे अक्षयी विषयान्. Difference in dream and waking is, in the dream it was only world subtle, in the waking the gross world tangible, seeable by our indriyas. This is a process happening. And all these, when you cut and see, only self is there. Aha. And this dhyana of the mana of the Vishyas is not required. If it is done, you will only get bound in the Vishyas. Only in the dhyana Paramatma, Paramatma Tattva, which is reality, is revealed. इसलिए ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु उपजायते. ध्यायतो भगवन्तं पुंसः जिज्ञासा भक्ति जायते. Vishaya Sangha slowly leads to desire and thereafter destruction. Bhagavad Chintana slowly leads to Bhagavad Anubhava and Jnana, gives to the moksha. Now, data is given. Think each one of you. I will also think. It is a Vishaya Dhyanam which is giving samsara continuously. Though the samsara का कारण वाला ये जगत है ही नहीं. Like in Hindi you say, na? I don't know whether I am right or wrong in this expression because I am not expert in Hindi. Hmm. You know, when the wife is throwing tantrums, okay, na? Then what the husband says, ये कुछ है ही नहीं, तुम बेकार में बात को बतंगड़ बना रही है. ऐसा कुछ एक्सप्रेशन है ना हिंदी में. कुछ है ही नहीं, तुम बेकार में इसको इतना खींच रही है. मैंने कहा ना ऐसा नहीं है. But do you think the wife will listen? If she listens, why will she be wife? And you hold your head. यार कुछ है ही नहीं, इतना क्यों ये कर रही है तमाशा. Remember, in all the domestic fightings, वहाँ कुछ होता नहीं है, फिर भी इतना गड़बड़ टेंशन जिंदगी भर होता है. और कुछ होता ही नहीं का अर्थ क्या है स्पिरिचुअली? कुछ दिमाग होता ही नहीं कि जानने के लिए कि कुछ है ही नहीं वहां लड़ने के लिए. You understand? To create problems, you don't need anything. Little murkhata, but we have it so much. इतना सारा है. You know, each of us are an exhibition. To understand, to the gurus and Bhagavatma. And what are we exhibiting? The variety of our murkhata. Like when you go to somebody's house, they exhibit their creations. साज ये पेंटिंग मैंने बताया, ये पेंटिंग को देखकर मैं सांसों में फेंट हो गई, अभी तक उठी नहीं. So ये मेरा किया है exhibition. And what we show to the gurus and all is nothing but we exhibit our murkhata only. Yeah, because there's no issue in this world. No need of any tissue. No issue and no tissue. And today I was watching somewhere, some comedy. He takes the foreigner came, Shadi Wadi ke. He took that paper like thing and started wiping. And that happened to be a special Andhra wala dish which looks like a paper. It is called a Putarekulu. He is doing. Same time, the Panditji who came to do, he took that thing and ate. And it was appearing so bitter. Bitter. He says, how can that Putarekulu so like? Then he said, these are Putarekulu is a tissue paper. He thought it to be that and he thought it to be that. कुछ है ही नहीं. Please remember, throwing tantrum. कुछ है ही नहीं, हम बातों को पतंगड़ बना रहे. I tell you, that day is a day of liberation. When we learn the art of not making issue out of any situation. Any situation, there's no issue. Even somebody died or killed us, in both cases, it's only a situation, there's no issue. Spiritually viewed, then you are liberated. How do we make an issue a problem or a situation issue or problem? By attaching to it all the past and future, which are dead and gone and unborn. That is called Maya. What is mind? Which loses its presence because of its imagination about the past and future. When you draw past and future and absolute in the present, there's no mind. You are in the self. The moment you go to the past in the Kala, then you go to the Desha, then the Vastu. All Desha Kala Vastu of the past. Is it there now? But is not all our thinking, reacting, talking, walking, all because of the past only? Hmm? Like somebody called Gadha. तुम कल भी कहा मुझे परसों भी कहा. And the other way, yeah, I don't change my opinion, yeah. If you don't bring kal and parsu wala, and in the present only, when somebody called Gada, just ask him, bhai, okay, let's come to a decision. Look at me all around. See where am I like Gada. There's no issue. I think your eyes have some problem. Please check it. And by the way, don't insult Gada by comparing it with me. It is better than me. It carries more load than me. If there any worse animal than the Gada, please compare me with that so that the Gada is spared. Can you think like this or not? Out of the worst, seemingly worst issue of fighting with each other, when somebody calls other Gadha, can you bring out humor also in it or not? They could, it's your choice, but we don't want to laugh it off. We want to make out of the beautiful laughter also the worst misery. That is called ego. That is called the strong ego and strong mind. No issue. Somebody says you are Bayakuf. Thank you for reminding me. Please, you are like Krishna to me. I am bowing at your feet. Can you give me the Jnanopadesh? And really gives Jnanopadesh. And it is really correct. And you thank him and use that Jnanam and help yourself. Where is the issue? We discussed this earlier also. Is it not? We are explaining the word Dhyayato Vishayan. So, first of all, Hai Paramatma, He. Other than Him, there is nothing. In the Paramatma, other than Paramatma, a object or a person or Vishaya is Dhyana. Then it is given again with the Dhyana only, variety of Rangarupa. And on that, the comments, followed by likes, dislikes, then the samsara. Is it not? The mud is there. I only made a pot. Then I only made a design. Then I only displayed. Then I only wanted people to come and see. Then anybody commenting it is not good, I feel bad. If somebody is both badhiya hai, then I feel excited. Where are all of them? Are they not in my own mind? This shloka is so gambhira, I tell you, so complete. These two, three shlokas. Enough for us to come out of all problems. All samsaric problem go away. These three shlokas are made one with us in our conviction understand. अर्थे अविद्यमाने भी कुछ है ही नहीं बात संस्कृत निवर्तते फिर भी संसार ऑफ कर्तृत्व भोक्तृत्व everything not going at all chasing us only one reason ध्यायतो विषयानस because of the vishaya dhyanam in the mana clear. Like Swapne Arthagama. Like in the Swapna, everything is nothing but the thought only, no? Everything is thought. In the waking also everything is thought. Except some gross things are there in front of us. Those gross also are without the subtle thought, you can't perceive them. A chair is there. Without the thought, I can't recognize chair. That chair gross is required for this gross body to sit. This gross body is given because of my prarabdha. इन द अर्लियर लाइफ्स। फिर इसका वो कनेक्शन है, उसको हम और कभी डिस्कस करेंगे। ध्यायतो विषयानस्य अर्थे अविद्यमाने में संसुतिर्न निवर्तते। ध्यायतो विषय। So what is the entire sadhana? Instead of Vishaya Dhyana, do the Bhagavad Dhyana. Now, whether we practice it or not, we can discuss. No. Wherever Bhagavan is there, and in the Bhagavan, wherever we did the Vishaya Dhyana, Bhagavan only appeared as Vishaya and we are suffering. Now, reverse karo. Wherever we are seeing the Vishaya, there itself we do the Dhyana of Bhagavan, then you can surprisingly see that there is no samsara anymore. See that? Like Guru. In the Guru you see the Bhagavan. Therefore you don't have raga dvesha with the Guru. Therefore there is no samsara. Another person, you don't see him in Bhagavan. You see either Shatru, therefore dvesha or mitra राग. अरे दोनों व्यक्ति हैं, तुम्हारे मन में क्या है उसके हिसाब से. See, irrespective of their behavior, you can have raga dvesha. Irrespective of their behavior, you can see Bhagavan in them. Seeing Bhagavan in them is two ways logical. One, my goal is to see Bhagavan, because only in seeing Bhagavan samsara goes away. Second is what? Other than Bhagavan there is nothing यार. भगवान अलग अलग रूपों में आकर टेस्ट कर रहे हैं हमको. अरे पास हो जाओ ना हर एक टेस्ट में. हे भगवान, you have come in this form today, that form today. Is it not? When he came in the form of a Shatru, okay, Shatru, okay, let us not fight. I am not Shatru to you. I have seen Bhagavan in you. हो गया. मित्र आ गया तो उसमें भी भगवान है. बंधु आया, भगवान only appearing in these so many forms. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बंधु सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या. Everything is त्वम त्वम त्वम. This is abhyasa to be done. Inside we have to do. Outside vyavahara as it is. जैसे आउटसाइड मुस्कुराते हुए बात करते हुए अंदर सबके प्रति घृणा से क्रोध से सोचते हो कि नहीं हमेशा. When we can do this murkhata, we can do the opposite of it also. कि outside according to vyavahara what is to be done you do, but inside say that everybody is Bhagavan, everything is Bhagavan. पहला जो बंधन का अभ्यास किया, मुक्ति का अभ्यास करो. And whatever one thinks, he becomes that for himself. Whatever he thinks, the thing in front of, it appears him for like that. You know, यो यत् श्रद्धा स एव सः. अब जिस बात को जिस रूप से देखते रहोगे वो वैसा बनता है वो. अब जगत के रूप में देखा भगवान को, सो जगत इज अब जगत को भगवान के रूप में देखो तो भगवान देखेंगे. दैट्स व्हाट मॉर्निंग यत्र यत्र मनो याति तत्र तत्र समाधय. And this shloka is much more to discuss, much more to delve deeper, contemplate, till we get into the crux of it. And in this Savikalpa Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we were given the dhyana of the Satchidananda Vastu, and by doing Upeksha of Namarupa, the Telugu class. When you see the Rupa Nama, because of their beauty or variation, attractions, repulsions happen, you enter into samsara. Behind the Rupa Nama, when you see the truth, it is one without second. Therefore, there are no two truths. Therefore, there is no something is good or bad. Therefore, there is no raga or dvesha. Is it not? So, what is sadhana? One line. Vishaya dhyan kam karo. Then some things in that 4 or 5. First of all, only those, Vishaya means everything, with which are objectively seen by us are all Vishayas. The Stula Vishayas are in front of us, Sukshma are in the form of thoughts. Anything which is required for our Vyavahara and sadhana, only that must be there in our observance or perception or vision or the thoughts. First thing है अच्छी, जो मैं जिंदगी से लेना देना नहीं है, साधना से लेना देना नहीं, पहले वो लोड को अनलोड करना. Thereafter, Any Vishya in which we are involving for Vyavahara and Sadhana also, the biggest sadhana is what? And even this Vishya is Bhagavan only in this form appearing. This dhyana we see. That is what is the secret behind doing upasana of Narayana in Salagrama, upasana of Shiva in the Linga. Because of the extreme upasana bala, Salagrama experienced by me as Vishnu. Because Vishnu only is appearing as Salagrama. This is the secret behind that upasana. And that's what we see in the movies of 60s, 70s, 80s. That Maha Bhakta in front of Bhagwan's Vigraha, इतना बढ़िया भजन कीर्तन गाते रोते रोते दर्शन दो घन श्यामनाथ मोहे कृपा प्यासी रे, then Bhagwan gives darshan. You see that? And all that emotion is in his tadup. For him to remove this inner curtain of seeing the stone in the God and see the God in the stone. Bhagavan agreed. He said, yes, okay. You change your mind, I change my form. In your mind, you wanted me to see as stone, I appeared. Now you change to see me as myself in the stone, I appear. Yetha mam prapadyante tan tataiva bhajamiham. It is true. I tell you, everything in the world has the potentiality to give Bhagavan's darshana as Parabrahma or as an Atma or your Ishtadeva. Because potentially everything is Bhagavan. It is a wrong abhyasa. That is called Vishaya Dhyana. And always see, there's no Vishaya in the world. Sarvam Bhagavan. With Bhagavan's drishti in the Hridaya, anyway, we do the due vyavahara of dharma to be done. Without, where is the samsara? Where is the raga dvesha? Where is struggling in this world? You know, we don't suffer much because of lack of money. That's also an issue. We suffer because of our own mental imagination projections on the people with so much of suffering. Dead matter gives us less dukkha. Living beings with which, we cannot come out only Zindagi var marne tak. Even in studying all Vedanta Shastra, still the Guru has problem with the disciples or other Gurus, Shishyas with the Guru or other Shishyas. कहाँ है वो दिमाग में छोड़ता ही नहीं वो मीन्स परिपक्व नहीं हुए वो लोग जब होते हैं दिन देयर इज नो इश्यू क्लियर विषय ध्यान के कारण नहीं होते हुए भी विषय है और वो दुख दे रहा है and we are insisting. I am insisting that there is a snake, therefore my getting afraid is justifiable. I am not ready to do the vivek, to know that there is rope, so that the bhaya goes away. ये सारे जो impediments है ना उसको दूर करना है. Like this, there is a traffic diversions are there. Or you can see the digging is there or landslides are there. Therefore, you can't go ahead. In our own life, lot of our wrong notions, fears, inhibitions, hesitations, don't want to try, don't want to take initiative. These are the speed breakers, the your landslides, which are not making us go ahead in our thinking, contemplation, to know what is the reality actually. देखो somehow if you can negotiate through the landslide, you are going to Badri and Kedar. Otherwise you are stuck up here only. So too when we cross these in between barriers, impediments, you can have Atma Darshan, Brahma Darshan, Tattva Darshan. Okay, do further contemplation on that. Now, same thing explained through the example again, which was said earlier also. What is that? Yata hi apratibuddhasya praswapo bahvanartha bhrutu saeva pratibuddhasya navai mohaya kalpate. See that clarity. Every day we are seeing this example. Yatha hi, just like an example, apratibuddhasya. The one who is not woken up into waking plane from the dream. Praswapaha means the dream. Bahu anartha bhratu. How many of the anarthas are happening in that dream? Variety of the anarthas. Bahu anartha bharat. Those who have a lot of expectations, desires in the waking, egos, strong reactions of their life with this type of life, so many strong impressions they create, vasanas, which come as a dreamer. And because all these waking life experiences being bitter, in the dream also, that type of threatening, frightening, miserable, bitter experience only will come. That's why अनर्थ है ना. कितने सारे अच्छे अच्छे ड्रीम आए बताओ. मेरे को तो अच्छे ड्रीम बहुत कम आते. आते तो कुछ भयानक ड्रीम ही आते, डरावने वाले. Because our life, this and earlier was filled with so many. Because of that, this example, Bahu Anartha Guru. Till I don't get up. But Saeva Pratibuddhasya, when he becomes awaker, Navai Mohaya Kalpate, there is no delusion. What is the delusion? Three things. One, not knowing the waking and its reality. Second, projecting the dream instead of waking mind. Third, taking that projecting world as a real. This is called moha. After taking it is real, the next moha is you like something, dislike something, involve in that and get kicked, all that. Exactly what happens in the waking alone happens in the dream. ऐसा ही होता है. You love someone, but that person doesn't love you. Somebody loves you and you don't like that person. Or you like some object, it is never available to you. And what is available, you don't want it. घर में ये तो होता है ना. क्या सब्जी आप चाहते हो, पत्नी नहीं बनाती है, वो जो बनाती यू डोंट लाइक इट. देखो जिंदगी डेली सब्जी. We need not have big Indian national international issues to become miserable and frustrated. दिस सब्जी और दाल चावल इनफ. हमारे दिमाग के लिए इससे बड़ा इश्यू क्यों चाहिए. कैसे यूक्रेन को स्वतंत्रता दिलावे, कैसे पूरे दुनिया का इकोनॉमिक स्थिति को बढ़ाए. दैट इज नॉट अवर वरी. सेम इन द ड्रीम. इन ड्रीम ऑल्सो सच ए बैड वेजिटेबल शी मेड. या कम से कम सपने में खुद बना के खा सकता है. सच ए रेचेड फेलो. इन ड्रीम ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन वाइफ. अपना सपना है ना भाई, खुद बनाओ खाओ. In waking Swamiji, I want to make and eat my food. She becomes so sentimental, emotion cries. जब तक मैं जिंदा हूँ मेरे को ही बना के आपको खिलाने दो. आई अलाउड. एंड शी कैसी खाना बनाती कि मैं मर जाऊँ. There is comedy everywhere. Then I tell him, yaar, you dream, no? You only started a hotel, you are the chief chef. Pusa Institute, you did your hotel management, and you made 22,000 items of international, continental. खाओ अच्छी तरह. Good ideas, man. Do it. Example clear. अप्रतिबुद्धः स्वप्नः बहु अनर्थभृत्. प्रतिबुद्धः न वै मोहाय कल्पते. So too, we are now sleeping to the self and dreaming the waking world. When you wake up to the real self, we discover this waking also like the dream. There is no anartha to be worried about. So in the flight in the dream, the flight in which I am going crashed. The train which I am going, it came onto the platform because the announcer announced train number 22-25 प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 6 पे आ रही है. That driver heard it. अच्छा इसको प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर ले जाना. He took it. She did not say प्लेटफॉर्म 6 पर रहने वाले पटरी पे आ रही है. तो he should listen to it. ये नहीं नंबर ऑफ ड्रीम मिल का. जो भिखारी भूखा होता है बेचारा वेकिंग में, उसको ऐसे ड्रीम आते हैं कि खाना नहीं मिला, पानी नहीं मिला. मेरे को ज़्यादा ड्रीम आता है एग्जाम में फेल होने वाला. इसलिए बाबा जी बन गए. एग्जाम हॉल में टाइम में नहीं पहुंचा, पहुंचे लेकिन हॉल टिकट नहीं था. Everybody has some type of dream. It is not real at all. Mm. Like this example, go on contemplating deeply. So the whole world and worldly misery is made only by two things. I, the self, get identify the upadhi with the mana and give the mana the chabi of dhyana, and it goes on, starts with the entertainment. Slowly it becomes an issue. Then it is an endless samsara. क्या दो लोग दोस्ती के लिए बात करते हैं, धीरे धीरे बात बात बढ़कर दे स्टार्ट आर्ग्यूइंग एंड फाइटिंग. हो गया ना. इन द सेम वे mana is given chavi, it creates all the samsara. Then what is to be done? First quieten the mind from vishaya dhyana. How to do, sir? Give without dhyanam mind cannot. Stop giving vishaya dhyanam, give it the paramatma's dhyana. With the vishaya dhyana it gets a heavy khurak. Therefore, endlessly the mind and dhyana goes on for thousands of days. But with Bhagavad dhyana, mind slowly become weakened because it is not its natural staple diet. So with the Vishaya dhyana, in the place of Bhagavan only, Vishayas are seen creating samsara. When the Bhagavad dhyana increases, the mana which is doing Vishaya dhyana itself dissolves. What remains is Bhagavan. It is वही कहा है ना भगवान. विषयान ध्यायतः चित्तम विषये तो विसज्यते. When the chitta goes on thinking and Vishaya, it creates the Vishayas to be real and get lost in that, and with the identification the Vishaya, with the chitta, we also get lost in the Vishayas. But ma manusmanatah chittam mayeva parvati. That is why Bhagavan said manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva ishe yuktvayam atmanam matparayanaha मय्येव मनाधस्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Every chapter of Bhakti Shastra, of every literature, every Shastra, this is what it speaks. Entire Bhagavata is started with that only, no? What was the question of Parikshit? Do you remember? Oh, 2 साल पहले देख. What is that having done which a human being gets Shreyas, especially the one who is going to die? Mriyamanasya Visheshatah. Shreyah Kim. What Bhagavan gave answer there, Shukadev ji? Same. Bhagavan Ishwaro Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwara Harihi Bhagavan Ishwara Harihi Shrotavyaha Kirtitavyascha Dheyaha Pujaha Nityada. ओनली नारायण भगवान की ही श्रवण करना है, पूजा करना है, स्तुति करना है, ध्यान करना चाहिए. दिस इज द ओनली थिंग बाय विच भगवान इज रियलाइज्ड. जगत इज नॉट देयर. इन भगवान देयर इज ओनली ब्लिस एंड लिबरेशन. इन जगत देयर इज ओनली दुख एंड बॉन्डेज. What is the purpose of these 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavatam, 24,000 shloka Ramayana? Mana focused on Paramatma. There is no samsara. The moment the mana pulled from the Lord, kept in the world, samsara started. Pull the wine from the world, keep in Bhagavan, samsara gone, the mukti started. Again, idhar se udhar nikalo, fir the bandhan. So never take the mana into Vishayas. Keep it only in Bhagavan. 2 ways of keeping mana in Bhagavan is, one, through all the upasanas. Pakka done. Whether you are doing japa or puja or anything, pura man Bhagavanmay hona chahiye. Second, when you are in Vyavahara, bring the intellect and say, whatever the objects I am dealing with, they all are for Vyavahara used, but in and through them, Bhagavan alone is there. Make sabji, but clearly, don't hesitate, don't have inhibition, otherwise we will never be able to do sadhana. That chopper also is Bhagavan. The plate, the chopping knife also Bhagavan. The sabji also is Bhagavan, which is cut. The hand, the power in the hand, the दिल दिमाग जो काम कर रहा है, दिल की प्यार से बनाओ, दिमाग की ऐसे बनाओ. Every form Bhagavan only is there. In this way we have to. Because that is the final fact. No, you tell this to the people, they laugh at you. Because they are so much engrossed in the murkata of taking the world as real. We are slowly wanting to come out of that and see Bhagwan. For us, this is a sadhana. That is what. Everything is Paramatmayam. Say Vishwam Vishnu, Sarvam Krishnamayam, Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. When it is Sarvam, everything is Paramatma only. That is what called as Savikalpa Samadhi. Dehendriyas, Mana are doing their Vyavahara work. But Buddhi is stuck to the thought that everything is Paramatma. I told you just now, everything Brahma means the chopper, the plate, the knife, the vegetable, the hand which is using that, the mana which is behind, the prana shakti, the buddhi, सब भगवान के अलग अलग एक्सप्रेशन है. Keep the abhyas of this, with which Bhagwan's thought should become stronger. Let the vyavahara go on. Only that vyavahara which is unavoidable, essential. Do sabji only in your house. Don't go to every house and chop vegetable. Chop vegetable, finish work, remaining time, actual भगवान का ध्यान करो हृदय में. शंख चक्र गदा पद्म. So instead of विषय ध्यानम, do भगवत ध्यानम. This is the मुक्ति हेतु बाबा. करो या ना करो, समझो या ना समझो, मानो या ना मानो. Is it not like a doctor? He gives best of medicine prescription. If you don't use, what can you do? And it is so simple. विषय ध्यान करो, फंसो संसार में, भगवत ध्यान करो, मुक्त हो जाओ. There is nothing to add in this, delete in that. There is nothing to decorate or कुछ हंगामा करने का कुछ नहीं इसमें, हाइप करने का कुछ नहीं है, एक्साइट होने का कुछ नहीं है, एक धूम धड़ाका भजन की तरह तबला पेटी बजाना का कुछ नहीं है. All is not there. मन विषय ध्यान संसार, मन भगवत ध्यान मोक्ष. And our problem is what? As the present people of the world, samsari, with the Bhagavad Dhyana, as much we make our mana Bhagavanmaya, again neutralize it by again Vishaya Dhyana. Just like now we listen to class. In that, Paramatma only Nityam, Satyam, of that only we have to do the Dhyanam. This is what we understand. With the mana, we have to do Dhyana. Moment the class is over, again with the mana, we do the worldly things. So what we listen, that we only are cancelling. So 3 कदम आगे लगाया तो 3 कदम पीछे लगाया, तो फिर किधर हो? जैसे थे वो इधर ही हो. That is the trick we have to play to the mind which is playing that trick, which looks to be laughable but very practical. What is practical? Swami, do you mean to say only in the class में बैठ जाऊं, कुछ काम ना करूं? यार नहीं, क्लास में क्या सीखा? भगवान का ध्यान करो. फिर क्या नुस्खे दिए हैं, जो भी है वो भगवान. अब टीवी के सामने भी बैठ के भगवान ही मानो टीवी को, दिल से. After some days, what will happen? When everything I am taking as Bhagavan, why this stupid Bhagavan in this form? Bhagavan in this stupid form? Bhagavan is not stupid. Let me see the Bhagavan purely. That thought will come. Then you only withdraw. Why should I see the Lord in this form? Let me say Lord in the Atma Rupa, real Rupa. It will come. Then the real Rupa Bhagavan you see, he alone is there. The real Rupa Bhagavan is Atma Rupa, Brahma Rupa. Okay. This is what the mantra 3. Therefore, like in the Drukdosha Viveka, Kamadhyaschittaga Drushyaha Tatsakshittvena Chetanam Dhyaya Drushyanuvidhoyam Samadhi Savikalpakaha, or in the 4th mantra, Kama Sankalpa Sandeho Shraddha Shraddhe Dhutitare Harid Dhir Bhirityavadin Bhasit Ekadachiti, or Drushyadhivruteha Sakshi Drugeva Dushyate. Here, Shoka Harsha Bhaya Krodha Lobha Moha Spruhadayah अहंकारस्य दृश्यन्ते जन्म मृत्युश्च न आत्मनः. I'll tell the literal meaning of this shloka. On the basis of that, you can have some contemplation. Good. Tomorrow we'll elaborate. See, shoka. Shoka means that which we are always there. Harsha. Instead of Sanskrit harsha, because of shoka, we are harsha only all the time. We elongate the harsha to the harsh. Shoka is misery, Harsha is excitement, Bhaya, frightened, Krodha, anger, Lova, greed, Moha, confusion, Spruha, desire, Adeha, etc. etc. All of them are Ahankara se dushyante. They belong to Ahankara. Even Janma Mrityu, na Atmana. And what is the difference between Atma and Ahankara? Sopadika Atma is Ahankara Jiva, Nirvadika Jiva is Atma. Is it not? In the scooter, my scooter wala. In the car, my car wala. In the train, my train wala. Give up the scooter, car, train, you plane, you are no wala. उपाधि के साथ जीव, he is only one going through all that, not in the atma. Atma only illuminates them. In his presence they are happening is the sadhana we have to do when we are involved in them and we want to come out of them. तो शोक हर्ष भय आदि में इन्वॉल्व अहंकार भी है, इनके साक्षी रूप वाला अहम चैतन्य भी है. Now, which thought you maintain stronger, continuous, you become that. If you remain as Aham Chaitanya Atma, illuminating all of them, you remain as Chaitanya Atma. Then they lose their value. This is called Savikalpa Samadhi. Instead of that, you are giving importance only to the Shoka Harsha Ityadi, not as a witness. You are identifying with them by giving value to them. Then Shok को value किया, शोक ही हो गए, हर्ष को value किया, हर्षी हो गए. Then शोक हर्ष का साक्षी बने तो साक्षी रह गए. है कि नहीं? देखो कार बेच रहा है, बेचने वाला बेच रहा है, खरीदने वाला खरीद रहा है, रजिस्ट्रेशन करने वाला रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहा है. देयर इज अदर फोर्थ फेलो इज नॉट रिलेटेड, सो ही हैज नो samsara in that transaction. One is a seller karta, one is purchaser karta, another registration. The fourth were unrelated. See, he also can become seller, purchaser, registration maker, and any one of them also can become onlooker. As an onlooker has no samsara with them. That's why with million things that are happening in the world, we don't have samsara because we are onlooker for them. Yeah? देश कितना भी खराब कुछ भी हो जाए, we are only onlooker. We never affects it. Big accidents happen, भूकंप, floods, खूब आइसक्रीम खाते हुए, पकोड़े खाते हुए, we look at that without any simple emotional thought कि close the eyes and pray, oh Lord, please protect them, bless them. इतना भी नहीं करते वो. Non-sensitive, insensitive. Okay? To whom these things is ahankara. Ahankara means ahankarta asmi bhogjartham. I am the doer to become an enjoyer. First thought of becoming enjoyer comes. But you can't enjoy without the objects. Objects cannot come without doing, therefore you become karta. You want to have a tea. So the thought of becoming bhokta. Therefore you have to make the tea, you are karta. You make it or order it and go and get it, whatever. Tomorrow we'll see this discussion, and it is not sufficient in this 1 or 2 classes that it helps us. All the time we have to revel in the vicharana of these shlokas as deeply as possible, in the as quiet mood of the mind as possible. Means by quietening the mind through japa, when we do that. And that also when we do, have wonderful food, not too much, not less. So the body, tongue, stomach problem is taken care. Have a very good sufficient sleep, not excess, not less. So that the hangover of no sleep is not there, or the oversleeping regret is not there. Then you are full of physical energy, mind's energy. And that mind use for some japa. 15-20 minutes. And see to it that mind gathered the calmness, quietness. And into that calm and quiet mind, which is no more distracted through any senses into the object, nor it is in any imaginations, because it has done japa. With that mind, take these shlokas. Arte hyavidhyamanepe samsrutirna nivartate dhyaito vishayanasya स्वप्नेन अर्थागमो यथा यथा ह्यप्रतिबुद्धस्य प्रस्वापबह्वनर्थभृको स एव प्रतिबुद्धस्य न वै मोहाय कल्पते शोकमोह शोकहर्षभयक्रोध लोभमोहस्पृहादयः अहङ्कारस्य दुष्य जन्म मृत्युश्च न आत्मनः. Just called 10 minutes. इतना ही. That gives the depth of understanding. Again evening, again next day, again evening. Just like medicine. सुबह एक ले लेना, दोपहर में एक लेना, शाम. धीरे धीरे the quantity of medicine slowly grows, and that removes the any of the infectious whatever the things are there. You are healthy. ये अध्यात्म ज्ञान रूपी दवा भव रोग के लिए हमें 3 दफा डेली लेते रहना निरंतर. Is it not? There are some medicines, they are curative as well as preventive. The spiritual medicine is also both. It's curative for the existing diseases, preventive for not allowing new disease of samsara to come. But we don't want to take this bhava roga का औषध. हमको संसार में फंसे रहना, वहीं रहकर हमको क्या कहते हैं ना, ट्रीटमेंट चाहिए. नहीं होता बेटा. You have to go there where you are treated. इसी में फंसा रहता हूँ. क्लास में नहीं जाऊंगा, वेदांत नहीं सुनूंगा, जब पूजा नहीं करूंगा, मनन चिंतन नहीं करूंगा, फिर भी मेरे को हमेशा खुशियां सुख मिलना है. नहीं होता. Without them we do all murkhata. With that definitely land in troubles. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us see our beautiful Adhyatma Ramayanam for some time.